Welcome everyone to the Summer Transition Engineering Program Information Webinar for 2021. This is a webinar style, so you're able to submit your questions through the Q&A. We will take the questions at the end, whether they're for me or for the students that are on our panel, which I will talk a little bit more in a bit. So the agenda for this afternoon's webinar is as follows. So to start off, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. We'll go over an overview of STEP. I'll speak about what we hope to achieve through this summer program. I will also discuss the different components such as activities and the structures of the weeks of STEP. And I will talk about the benefits of the program. And we'll finish with a Q&A so that we can hear what the past participants of STEP have to say about their experience with the programs and how they benefited overall. So as an introduction, my name is Taylor Johnson and I am the coordinator for STEP for this upcoming summer. I am currently a PhD student in engineering education and I have my bachelor's of science in biomedical engineering from UT Austin. So anytime that you're emailing the STEP email address, I'm the person on the other end. So if you have any questions, these are going to me and I will do my best to answer them. So an overview of the program. STEP is a 5-week program for incoming students. The program dates take place from Sunday, June 27th to Saturday, July 31st, and it is open to all students interested in VT engineering. So STEP aims to help the first-year engineering students establish a community of other first-year engineering students before stepping foot on campus. Through this experience, students will have the opportunity to develop connections with their peers and with the faculty and staff that they interact with throughout the program. Students will also take part in a rigorous schedule with classes and different activities, and it'll be a great introduction to university student lifestyle as a Virginia Tech student. And so things, personal, professional development, building community, and I will talk a little bit more about those activities in a bit. So the program structure consists of the courses, of course. So we're having calculus, chemistry, and then the engineering foundations course. We're also having academic coaching. This is offered from different students, different Virginia Tech students to help students adjust to what it's like to be an engineering student at Virginia Tech. So those students have the personal experience of what it's like to go through these classes and they help students along the way. We also create community. So we're planning different social events conducted, of course, with COVID safety guidelines in place for the students to meet their peers and interact with the residence hall assistants of STEP to build that community. We also have professional development seminars on such things such as crafting a resume and what to do at a career fair so that your students can get internships and jobs after throughout their experience as a Virginia Tech engineering student. And then we also have industry and faculty seminar, industry events and faculty seminars, which I will go into detail now. So the faculty seminars will bring in different faculty from the College of Engineering, so the different disciplines, mechanical, chemical, you name it, within Virginia Tech. And they will speak a little bit about Virginia Tech engineering and then of course about their own disciplines and what there are, what types of roles they have within their different disciplines and things of that nature. They'll also talk about their research interests and how students can get involved with that, even as undergraduate students. And then they'll also talk about other opportunities that are available at Virginia Tech. We also have planned industry events that are company-led activities, companies such as General Electric. These will generally focus on leadership development and have engineering activities. These corporate representatives come in on a Saturday, they work with our STEP students, and they do an activity that they've created, and that's a good way to network, one, with corporate representatives even before you become a student at Virginia Tech, but also, you know, figure out what it is that these companies do and how you can become a strong applicant for their internships or jobs in the future. Additional workshops and seminars that we will have planned throughout the STEP program include appearances from the Student Success Center. This center focuses on time management techniques, study skills. They also offer tutoring services for students. So They'll come in and speak about what they offer for Virginia Tech students. We'll also have Hokie Wellness come in, so they will, provide tips on how to take care of your mental and physical health as you adjust to a college student, and tell you what resources they have within their office. Rec Sports also will we will schedule time for them to come in and speak on the resources available to students that are already included in your tuition. So it will be things like gym access, different things around campus, and different activities that you could be involved in as a Virginia Tech student. And then, of course, like I mentioned before, career and professional development. So this is an office that includes information on how to build a competitive resume and how to write an effective cover letter, as well as those career fair skills that are important for students to work on for them to gear up as they enter into engineering. So the benefits of the program. So we hope to, through STEP, we hope to help students become adjusted to what life is as an engineering student as things return to a new normal. So things are definitely looking different than they did before COVID-19, and we're trying to figure out ways to get students acclimated with this new environment and things, how that will look as they become students. And we hope to help students become acclimated with the academic schedule and experiences that they will have the opportunity to take part in as Virginia Tech students as well. Uh, we also build in academic support for students, as I mentioned before, such as office hours and study halls. These will be built into the schedule for the courses that we have, the 3 courses that we have. That way that students can get adjusted to how to navigate the academic environment as an engineering student. So, office hours, study halls, these are very important things for engineering students to learn how to navigate and utilize. And so we try to introduce students to what it is like to go to these office hours and, form questions and prepare for these opportunities to interact with their instructors as well as tutors or TAs. So program requirements. So the program cost is $2,750 per student. Financial assistance is available based on financial need. So be sure to fill out the Fafsa form, and that way we can figure out that information. Another requirement is that you must be able to attend from June 27th to July 31st for the entirety of the program. This is so that the students can build community as we ask them to participate in the entirety of the program. Parents, of course, are welcome to visit. However, the students must abide by the curfew and stay in the residence halls for the duration of the program. Another requirement is that the students must have a laptop that meets the requirements of the College of Engineering. So students will need their laptop for coursework in STEP, as well as they become engineering students in the fall. So they will need this regardless, and it's a good, tool for them to have going forward, of course. So check those computer requirements, make sure that everything's, good to go for that. That way your computer is able to handle whatever it is that you need as whatever software or things like that for engineering and for STEP. And then if you have difficulty securing a laptop, please reach out to us via the STEP email. Finally, application and important dates. So for the application, you can visit the STEP website. That also has a lot of information. That has the application information as well as the additional information on the requirements, and then answers to frequently asked questions. So you can find everything on that site, as well as these dates. So the applications are due on May 4th. Students are notified whether or not they are accepted by Friday, May 28th, and then they will have to notify us that they are and confirm that they are attending STEP by June 7th. And then, of course, the dates for the program are June 27th to July 31st. These dates can be found on the site as well. And then if you have additional questions that are not answered in the following Q&A with the students and with myself, or on the website, feel free to reach out to this email address, step@vt.edu, and I will get you an answer as soon as possible for your question. So there are questions rolling in, which we're going to move to the Q&A with the STEP alumni, and I will also answer the questions that are coming in through the chat if they're towards me. So we can go ahead and start off. We have our 2 STEP alumni. And if you want to just start off by introducing yourself, Say your name, your intended major if you haven't declared yet, and your hometown and what year you attended STEP.
Hi, I'm Morgan Moscow. I'm from Hershey, Pennsylvania, and I'm intending to go into mechanical engineering. I was involved in STEP last year when we were online, but I'm in person now that we are on campus.
Hello, I'm Havan Nguyen. I'm a junior. I'm in industrial and systems engineering. I'm from Stafford, Virginia, and I did STEP summer of 2018. So it's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah, so since it has been like y'all have various experiences, of course, like with Morgan having her experience online and Havan having hers like a few years ago. So can you explain a little bit about what your experience with STEP was like? Whether it's like a day-to-day schedule or like how the weeks went.
So typically in the mornings we have our math instruction, and so what that was we usually assigned a project, and the information for that was given on Canvas. Then in the afternoons we had engineering, or we had, like Taylor said, like a session with Hokie Wellness or with the company or any of those workshops. And then in the later afternoons, we had time to meet with our TAs and with our engineering teams. We had calculus and math, but we did not have chemistry as it was a shorter program last year.
Yeah, my program was in person. So our day started at 8 a.m. We had to go to chem. That was fun. But yeah, we would go to chem and then we would have math or engineering and then a lunch break. And then, yeah, the afternoon would be time for you to go to office hours. And then you basically had the rest of your night to go to dinner or like hang out on the drill field and stuff. So it was like a normal school day, honestly, except campus was a lot more empty. That's the good thing about STEP. There isn't as many people on campus. So, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you're talking about like a normal school day and what that was like. So for both of you, did STEP prepare you for student life at Virginia Tech, and if so, how?
I would say so. Even though I wasn't on campus, definitely that part about time management and getting things done while you have ample time to do it. Also, since we were working in the engineering team, there was a lot of coordinating. You know, when does it work for everybody to meet? Getting everyone involved in the team effort, dividing up tasks. That something I definitely still am using today, since we have those same sort of projects in my engineering class.
Yeah, I agree. STEP did really start the whole team collaboration kind of thing where you have to talk to your teammates and see what schedule works with who and when everybody can meet up. Another thing is STEP really helped with creating a schedule, like Morgan said, like time management. So if you guys are lucky enough to get in person, I'm not sure if that's a thing, but like wake up at 8 a.m. every single day, that really helps build a schedule, and then, creating time slots to do certain things. So that helped a lot. And Morgan didn't get to do chem, but I got to do chem, and that was super helpful because in the fall I actually had the same professor, so I had all of her notes, already filled out. I still went to class. You still go to class, but it made it a lot easier because I kind of got a second chance to get things better. And so again, it made my semester a lot easier in that way. So
Excellent. Yeah, so to reiterate, we will be planning to go back to the 5-week in-person format for STEP. So which will be, of course, different than what Morgan experienced, but we are working on how to do that safely and different things of that nature. So what was your favorite part of STEP?
I would say I enjoyed working in the teams that we were given. One was the engineering team that we worked on for pretty much the duration of the program and working on to like a final project. But we were also split up every day in math into different groups, and it was a lot of meeting new people. And so when we went on campus in the fall, I was seeing familiar faces pop up everywhere, and it was really nice having people that you know and sort of having those connections all around campus.
yeah, I think my favorite part was everything after classes, because you basically got free times in the afternoon. So like just hanging on the drill field. I remember the day we had like a water balloon fight on the drill field. We went hiking on the weekends, went berry picking. I feel so bad for Morgan because yours are all in person. But yeah, it's a really nice opportunity because, again, there's not as many people on campus. So you can really like free range and really get to know the campus and like hang out. So it was really nice making those memories with people.
So I'll go ahead and address some of the questions in the chat that I can get to. So I'm going to group how competitive is the program and how many freshmen are in the program. So there's usually around 100 freshmen that participate in the program. So there's that. For the question about will students have roommates in the dorms, for this year, students will not have roommates in the residence halls due to the COVID safety guidelines put in place by Virginia Tech. We are set to house everyone in single rooms for that. Okay, well, we had a question on where did you stay on campus, and I guess this would be more for Havan. So what residence hall did you stay in?
I think it was Maine Campbell around the drill field. That was really nice.
Okay.
So, no AC though.
When do you send in the FAFSA? So as you, with applying to Virginia Tech, you should have access to sending that in as far as like giving Virginia Tech the access to that information. So you can send that in as early as now. Dr. Watford, correct me if I'm incorrect on that.
Nope, the FAFSA should actually, hopefully they've already submitted, because the earlier you submit,
Okay.
the better. But they can still submit at any time.
So I want to say something about that because, like, you know, even if you see the price, it's kind of scary. So you should definitely, if you need financial assistance, you should definitely reach out because I was able to get some help. So don't let that deter you from attending.
Havan, that is exactly right. One of the things that we try to tell students is don't let the cost determine whether you apply or not. You should apply, see what kind of aid we can offer you, and then make the decision about whether you can actually come or not.
Yeah, if it wasn't for financial aid, I wouldn't have came. But yeah, you should definitely reach out and see.
So I had a question about the living learning communities such as Hypatia and whether or not you two participated in those, which is also another question that I had was if you participate in other seed programs. So did either of you participate in Hypatia, and how did that help you with the transition as well?
So I'm currently in
or
Hypatia.
compared to STEP?
So I'm currently in Hypatia. A lot of what they do in Hypatia and a lot of what they did during STEP is very similar. There's a lot of overlap. A lot of the lessons in both programs revolve around like time management, taking care of yourself, not only academically, but also mentally and emotionally as well, because those things are very important during the transition to college. So I'd say definitely both of them. You kind of get some footing under you, you get a community around you, and they really help with the transition from high school to college.
Yeah, I did Hypatia my freshman year, and it was definitely helpful because I feel like I got a step up from everybody else. It seemed like the girls in Hypatia are always ahead of like normal students because we already had our resumes up, we had LinkedIn's, we already had like prior connections. So when career fairs came, we were already prepared, and so that was nice. So I would definitely recommend Hypatia.
Okay, we had a question in the chat is if you did this program as an incoming freshman, did the coursework or STEP feel overwhelming?
Honestly, no, it did not. And I feel like because I did STEP, I sort of had those time management skills and I had an idea of what some of the courses were. I'm sure for Havan and having chemistry, that also helped as well. But for engineering, I was used to those set deadlines and for how to break down a really big project into easier steps. So I felt like it really helped me with my time management, so I wasn't feeling overwhelmed.
I think going into the program, the STEP program work initially was kind of overwhelming because, you know, transition from high school to college is kind of different, and then having to wake up at 8 a.m. was kind of bad. But going from STEP to freshman year of college, it really wasn't that bad because you were already used to it. And again, if you guys get chemistry, then that was lighten the load a lot more too. So STEP really does help. It's called STEP for a reason. So it does help.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hi, my name's
yes.
Yeah, sorry, I came a bit late. My name's Chef. I'm an alumni from STEP 2019. I'm currently a computer engineer in my sophomore year. And yeah, I just want to answer that question. It did feel a bit overwhelming, but one of the nicest things about STEP is that like you're in this group with like a whole bunch of other people doing the exact same classes and like around about the exact same time. So you just kind of get into this motion and vibe of like kind of studying together, helping each other out. So like definitely the like connections and friendships and stuff really help like with the workload, and it doesn't feel like as bad at all. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you jumping in and answering that. So I'm going to answer a few, like, group some more questions together. Things that I can answer is, are there classes on weekends? Dr. Watford answered this in the Q&A, but I just wanted to reiterate, no, there are not classes on weekends. However, we do have, different events scheduled for weekends, such as socials, industry events, things of that nature. So no classes, but there will be events that are planned for the weekends for the students. Will the students have access to tutors? Yes. So there will be tutors for each of the subjects. We have two STEP tutors that can cover any of the subjects, but we also have set up tutors with the Student Success Center that will help with chemistry and calculus, and those will be scheduled hours for those tutors to help all of our students with those subjects. Do you get any college credit for the classes? Do you take classes in freshman year? So no, you do not get any credit for the classes that you take within STEP. But a benefit that is like you are going through the experience as a student, or like what the rigor of the subject would be. So the tests, the homeworks, things of that nature. And it's kind of a way to feel out how these subjects will go when you do take them in the fall. And it's not of course you're graded on things and you can see how you did, but it won't impact your GPA in any shape, form, or fashion. So that's I see that as a benefit to figure out like how comfortable you are with certain subjects and figuring out how ready you are to take these courses. Okay, so questions for does everyone who applies get into the programs? Do students get turned away? Typically, most students, as long as they've completed the application in full, and everything is, in order for that, most students are accepted into STEP. There are not different levels of calculus offered. It's one calculus course, and it's the introduction or the first calculus course in the engineering sequence.
There were some questions about housing for the summer. Isn't it one student per room? I believe
Correct.
is what I saw. And
Yeah.
the room
Hopefully that
assignments.
answers your question.
Yeah, the room assignments, other than putting the women on one floor and the men on another, there are no real room assignments, so to speak.
Yeah.
Let me answer one more that I see in the chat. The question is whether VT is considering requiring the vaccine to attend. And honestly, that's so much above our pay grade. That's not a decision that we are privy to. So who's ever making those decisions, they're not necessarily sharing that information with us. As of today, I can tell you that no, we are not requiring a vaccine, but that is no guarantee.
Yes. Thank you for answering that one, Dr. Watford. I also have a question about if they get the application in early, will you be notified before the final acceptance date? No, the decision for all acceptances will go out on the same day that was listed in the table before. So Friday, May 28th, everyone's decision will go out. Okay, so another question for the students, the past STEP students. And since we had a new panelist join us, you can also start off with this one, is what is one thing that you learned from STEP that still impacts your experience as an engineering student today?
I would say that keeping in mind simplicity and things like aesthetics in your design when you're making something for engineering is important. That's not something I really thought about beforehand. I thought that it was mostly just like numbers, and if the math checks out, then it's good. But there are things that are important, like if you're designing an airplane, aesthetics are important. People are risking their lives getting into that. You have to make them feel safe and comfortable while they're doing those sort of things. It's not just if it works. There's a lot of human factors that you also have to consider when you're doing engineering.
I think for me, it's just going to office hours. That's something that really scared me during STEP. But my roommate and I actually went to math office hours once, and I think that really helped me start going more, because sometimes you think your teachers are scary and they're not willing to help, but they actually want to help. and they have office hours for a reason. So definitely go to your teacher's office hours and get help and make that connection with them.
I would say it was like kind of just the mindset and ability to just sit down and work on whatever you have to get done before like going out and playing with your friends or like hanging out. Because yeah, it's like your first time experiencing that real like sort of college freedom of being able to do what you want when you want, but making the decision or at least a time schedule of like when you're going to work and then when you're going to play, and like usually trying to make sure you're ahead of your work before you go out and like just hang out, because it's a lot more less stressful.
Yeah, and like going out knowing that you don't have anything else to do when you get home is a lot more fun too.
So we had a question about eating on campus. So I know you eat within like the residence halls, like food venues, but I don't know if Havan or Chef want to answer a little bit about like what your experiences is like, with food, meals, things like that within the program.
It was just D2, and D2s are buffet style dining hall. And so when the first time you go there, you're like, oh my gosh, all this food, and you start eating, and then you have to eat it every single meal during out the whole program. So you get tired of it by the end. And it's funny because when you have what is it? Is it open house, or when the students come in for the summer, the incoming students come in for the summer, they have like different food at D2. They bring out the good stuff. So then that's fun. But you're not gonna want to go back to D2 for a good month after freshman year. So
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of variety though. Like you'll enjoy the variety until you've tried everything.
I will answer another question. Are all the STEP students in the same class together? All 101 class? So we are working on figuring out how to do that within the safety guidelines of Virginia Tech. Most for the engineering section, I can say for certain that there will be 2 different sections. It'll be kind of like as if they were students at Virginia Tech, how like they're being taught the same material, but they will be in 2 different time slots throughout the week. How much freedom do we have? Can you leave campus? I guess the students would like to, if you would like to answer that one.
Yeah, you can like leave campus and stuff, and like there is quite a lot of freedom. Like the RAs are really good about like kind of telling you up straight like what you can and can't do and stuff. But you also need to like plan out what you're gonna do, because at least in my year, we went to the movies and then we missed the last bus coming back, so then the RA had to drive all the way to Christiansburg to pick us up, and they were not happy about that. So yeah, just be smart about it. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I ever went off campus, maybe once, but yeah, they're pretty clear about what you can and can't do, and they do their best to get you off campus to like go hiking and stuff. So it's not like they keep you on campus all the time.
Yeah, so to answer the question about the schedule for the 4th of July holiday, within STEP, we usually plan something for students to do. So related to that, and I can't remember what day of the week 4th of July takes place on, but if it conflicts with class, we will work around that. Are you allowed to drive? So you can drive to the camp. However, you have to purchase a parking pass and leave your keys with the program coordinator. So you're not allowed to drive, about this town of Blacksburg, but you can drive yourself to the camp. And
let me jump in on that one, Taylor. And I apologize, folks. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Bev Watford. I'm the Associate Dean and Executive Director of SEED, which runs the STEP program. The issue with driving is, and I answered this earlier, you're not really students. You're actually considered summer camp students. So you're not enrolled at Virginia Tech. And because of that, you're under the summer camp insurance, which we cannot use if you drive a vehicle. We cannot allow you to drive a vehicle while you are participating in the summer camp. So yes, you can drive yourself to STEP, you can drive yourself away from STEP, but while STEP is taking place, we really prefer that you do not drive, just for safety and insurance purposes. That's the whole reason.
Okay, for the students, what is something that you wish you would have known before attending STEP?
I'd say it's just to go for every opportunity. there's so many things that are going to pop up that you can apply for or you can ask about. And the worst thing someone's going to say is no. While in the contrast, the opportunities for growth and for your personal development is so much greater. There's basically no risk for taking the opportunities that come out of STEP or come out of Virginia Tech, whether it's a career fair or it's the workshops that we have. There are so many opportunities, and if you're interested, go for it. It's so worth it.
Yeah, I think that goes with like doing things on campus as well. Like they took us on an 8-mile hike, and some people didn't think they could do it, but they did it. So, I mean, that's just another way to get out and get to know the area. So even if you don't think you can do something, just go ahead and try it. Like Morgan said, the worst thing that could happen is somebody could say no, or, at least you tried. So, yeah.
Yeah, like definitely taking advantage of that, like these and kind of the head start you have to like just see the campus, find out about like all the experiences and opportunities to get involved, like start kind of mapping out what you may want your 4 years to look like, or like what you might think you might want involved. I know they had like presentations for undergraduate research, and like my freshman year I was already like looking for it and emailing professors, which allowed me to get it earlier. So like definitely take the head start. Yeah.
So you mentioned it a little bit briefly before, but if you had anything that you wanted to add, Chef, is what other seed programs are you involved in?
Yeah, I was involved with the mentorship program. I think I'm not sure, Black excellent students. It was like when we came in as freshmen, like kind of a group of freshmen and then a mentor and a higher level who like kind of sat us down, took us through around the campus, like gave us food and stuff. And she was super nice, just kind of walked us through everything and especially explained it from like a more minority perspective of like some things we could relate to, clubs that might be like beneficial and like tutorship, tutoring opportunities and things like that. It was really great. Yeah. Oh, and there's also like the engineering tutoring things that they like do sometimes in the like seed lounge. So just even hanging out in the seed lounge and like studying there, you'll like just meet some people who are super helpful or might advise you in your work or something.
And then we had a question about, did you feel burnt out coming out of STEP into the fall semester at Virginia Tech, which you kind of mentioned before, but if you want to touch on that again.
Honestly, I'm going to say no. I felt actually a lot more confident going into the semester than I would have if I wouldn't have taken it. I knew a lot of the like requirements, what sort of work ethic you're going to have. And I knew that it was going to take like a lot of hard work, but I also knew that I could do it, that I was capable of meeting those requirements. So I didn't feel burnout. I felt excited, sort of like, let's keep going. I feel confident and ready to go to college now.
Yeah, I don't think I was burnt out going into college. Like, again, I had, like Morgan said, there's like a sort of sense of confidence because you have some of the material already and, the campus. But I do remember being a little burnt out towards the end because we did have to take like final exams, and those were kind of stressful because they're kind of your first exams. So, but going into college, there wasn't really much burnout because you wanted to see your friends again. So
yeah, same boat. Like definitely I felt a lot more energized and excited because yeah, as like already mentioned is like you literally get half of like your programs that you're doing there, like half the semester's work done. So you feel like you already know what you're doing and like already have like kind of your friends. So like not that you can't grow them, but at least first day you know who you can go talk to and hang out with and you don't really feel as awkward. So it's really like beneficial. And other than that, yeah, you just feel more excited. Oh yeah, there's like a little week or so break period before the actual like semester starts. So that also kind of helped like a good like rejuvenation after like the final exams and stuff, like just get you back in the, oh, I'm just about to enter college mindset.
Yeah. And related to that question, or I mean, related to that point, and then also a question that was in the Q&A was, does the student have to go back home after STEP ends? So STEP ends on July 31st, and the school year starts on August 23rd, if I remember correctly, either 23rd or 25th, one of those two dates. But so there are no arrangements on our end as far as keeping students around to make sure that they can just like transition into the school year. So the student would have to figure out in their situation how they need to go about that. Okay, to answer how to compare STEP to the VTA Academy topics in engineering. So I don't know about their topics. However, I know that there is a difference between like the format and the format for the two. So STEP is just students that are interested in engineering. VT Academy encompasses a lot of different disciplines, and there are a few like different variations of engineering. With VT Academy, you do get course credit for the courses that you take within that, but I can't remember all of the logistics based on that. However, if you email me that question, I can, compare the websites as well to figure out information for that. So hopefully that answers your question, at least an overview. So for the students, these questions are much related, but like what piece of advice would you give to an incoming first year engineering student? So you talked about like before STEP, what would you do? But what would you do before you became a student at Virginia Tech?
Definitely that it's okay to fail. It's okay to have a slip up. Everybody has those moments where they're not at their best. They have a test that doesn't go as well as they like, but that's normal. And it's not the end of the road, even if it's like the first one. At least now you know what you need to do the next time you come in. There's tons of opportunities like tutoring, office hours, where you can get those skills up to where they need to be, and that it's totally fine if you start off a little shaky. Things are going to get better. Just stick with it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also want to say, like, join as many orgs as possible or as you can. The nice thing about STEP is that, you come in with a group of people that you already know, so you can reach out to them like, hey, do you want to go to this meeting with me? Or you want to go to this club with me? So again, you don't have to go somewhere alone. That's the nice thing about STEP. And, there's a lot of professional development opportunities. Go to as many as you can. Make those connections, because who knows, you might go to a, let's say like a Cap 1 professional development event, and you talk to the recruiter there, and then you go to a career fair and you see the same one. You can be like, hey, I spoke to you at blah, blah, blah's meeting, and make that connection with them. So don't be afraid to go up there, speak to the recruiters, give them your resume. Again, like Morgan said earlier, the worst thing to say is no. But I'm also a part of SWE, which is the Society of Women Engineers. And last year, I was almost 2 years ago, I went to their national conference. They sent me to the national conference, and I was able to go to California and like go to their huge career fair. And I was able to talk to some of the same recruiters I've seen here. So it's scary, but you'll get a hang of kind of selling yourself professionally. So
yeah, I would say definitely, like, for me, I came in as exploring technology. So like once I found out I was going into the STEP program, I started like watching YouTube videos on like different engineering programs and like the different flavors there are and what actually I would enjoy doing and like what I could see myself doing. So like just kind of think about what you genuinely enjoy doing in engineering or in that like aspect, and like just researching what you think college might help you gain and what you might need to learn on your own time.
And then we have a question in the Q&A is, I guess, because you all attended STEP in some form or fashion, I guess you wouldn't be able to answer this as far as like what it was like to not attend STEP, but in comparison to your peers, if you heard that they didn't attend STEP, how drastic of a transition would it be if you did not attend the STEP program?
Well, one thing that I'm really grateful that STEP did is it exposed me to MATLAB, which is huge, especially your first semester and all throughout the 4 years of engineering, I would say. And it gave me that background. Compared to some of my peers who weren't in STEP, they kind of looked into MATLAB and were really uncertain, and they had to learn that themselves. Well, I was already accustomed to that programming language. So it just gives you that boost up into STEP. And so compared to my peers, I felt like I was more prepared, especially for the engineering curriculum.
Yeah, I feel the same. Definitely. If you have chem, oh my goodness, that was such a big help, because some people just don't grab hold of chem that well. I would go to class still, but I wouldn't feel as stressed for the exams because I've already done it before. The notes I already had filled out, so it was just like kind of reiterating things you've already learned. So I felt like I had more time to really go out and like meet people versus sitting at home and trying to study again. So having that course material really helped lessen the load during the fall. So
I'd say like definitely just the reiteration of knowledge like really allows you to like absorb it well. Like I'm doing like you do calc and like a little bit of vector and multivariable and step and stuff. But now I'm taking it as like a subject, and now that I'm thinking about the same concepts, I'm thinking about it more intrinsically than like just if I had to like memorize these sums, memorize. So it's really helpful to like give you the time to digest it, like if you require that time. Yeah.
I'm going to jump in one more time.
Go
So,
for it.
and we've talked numbers, folks. We talked about the fact that about 100 students typically will participate in STEP. So that means somewhere around 1,900 don't, okay? And we still graduate these people. So we're not trying to say that if you don't participate in STEP, you will not be successful. That is not at all what we want to say. What we're saying is, and what I heard the students say was that by participating, they got a little bit leg up on some stuff that really helped them be successful. So I don't want people thinking that we're telling them you have to come or it will be horrible for you. But just think about it that way.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's more of a like if you do step and then there's like you pass step, meaning that you got like all your B's and stuff. It just kind of signifies that you're ready for college and you're already ready. But if you like weren't as ready and shaky, then it just gives you the chance to do your little shaky bit outside of college and then like thing. But you would still do the same thing in college, and I still go through shaky bits every semester. So yeah.
yeah, like Taylor said, like you don't get credit for the classes, which kind of sucks at times. But again, you get a second try, and that really helps in the fall because you know that you can get your grades up from what you did in STEP. And so, it kind of sucks at times, but it really helps in a way later on.
Yeah, I don't mind talking about like kind of how I got into the step in. Like, so I was originally exploring technology, and I knew nothing about step once like I got into Virginia Tech. But then I received the email saying that like you can transfer into engineering through like the step program, and I already knew that was like kind of my goal if I wasn't already in engineering. So you just kind of apply into the program, and then once you pass step, meaning that you got I believe it's either B's in all your classes or B pluses in all your classes, then you like are now like kind of eligible to be transitioned into B's in all your classes. You're eligible to be transitioned into like the engineering general engineering team, and then they'll move all your classes, and an advisor will help you like kind of reselect your classes based off of you now changing. And there's even like a better part. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention this. Dr. Watford kept it kind of secret from us, but like if you do really, really well and you get like all A's, there is like an extra bonus that comes with just like getting into engineering. So like, yeah, it's a great opportunity.
We provide small scholarships for students that get all A's. And just to be clear, Seth was not admitted to the College of Engineering as a freshman. He was admitted to a different major, but he decided through STEP, he was offered the opportunity to become an engineering student, as he said, by getting B's in all his classes. So he was very successful.
Yes, actually, two of my roommates got into engineering that way through STEP. One was in accounting originally, and the other one was, I think, business or BIT. So they went through STEP, and then they were able to get all B's, and they got into engineering. So.
The panelists, if you want to, speak a little bit more about your experiences, kind of round this out. Any parting words for the students that may be, torn between going to STEP or not, and then, figuring out what their experience would look like as an engineering student at Virginia Tech. So.
No, I just want to say, like, don't forget to have fun. I feel like sometimes engineering students are in like this mindset where you're like, I have to do good all the time. Like Morgan said, like, it's okay. You're going to fail sometimes. Teachers are there to help. Don't forget that. Your friends are there to help you. Like, there are people that, that know the material. Go ask them. Even if you don't know them, just go ask. And they might be able to tutor you. But yeah, don't forget, there's like, you have so many resources. This is like a beautiful campus. There's like so many mountains around here. Like, so like, don't forget to go outside, exercise, or else you're gonna gain a lot of weight. And yeah, it's a good time. I think STEP was probably one of the best times of my college career because most of my friends are from STEP still today. I mean, so yeah, it's a good community because sometimes you run into people who are like, "Were you in STEP?"
Actually, Helen, let me ask you, there was a question in there about meeting other people besides engineers.
Yeah.
Do you have any friends who are not engineering?
I do. I think I was Hypatia again, like with so many engineers. What again, like I said earlier, what really helps is taking those people like and going to Gobbler Fest and then going to club meetings together. And then that way you have not only engineering friends, but now you have people that like, you know, there's like, we have cultural clubs, we have like random weird, like, I think there's like chicken waffles or something, or chocolate milk club or something. Like My Little Pony. I don't know. There's like a bunch of weird ones, but you know, go take those people and go out. You know, you have the opportunity to go meet those people. You don't have to stay in engineering. Like you have the choice to go out. So go ahead and go do that. Don't be afraid to meet people. So yeah.
There's tons of club sports. We have the gym open. There's a lot of opportunities where you can meet people with common interests that are outside of your major, that are things that you like to do in your free time. And through those, you can make a lot of friends that way. I know I have.
Yeah, and like I would say definitely like get to know everyone like that is that step because it's literally just 100 kids. Like I think for me the only thing I can relate it to is kind of like Total Drama Island is like that cartoon of like just a summer camp vibe and like you all just do your tasks, which is like your engineering work and stuff. So definitely have a blast, and that kind of goes for college as well. Like memorize like the good things that happen. And yeah, it's gonna suck, but it's also gonna be really great because it sucked.
Yeah. Also a good thing about STEP is that you learn how to balance fun and your academics because you know, you're at STEP and you're like, oh, I can do all this stuff like Steph said earlier. But then you realize, oh crap, I have a chem test tomorrow. And so you kind of mess up a little bit. So the next test comes, you're like, okay, I need to put time for my work and then I can go have fun. So when you go into the fall, you already have that mindset of I need to finish my work and then I can go play.
I'm Makonnen. Hi. I'm sorry I was in the background. Didn't have much to say. Other than just I'll be the STEP and the engineering foundation instructor for this year as well. I've served as the engineering foundation instructor for quite some time. I recognize the alumni, so it's great to see them back and done some great stuff about not only the courses but the program overall. And I'm looking forward to this year. So hopefully I'll see you all there.
We just got a question. Are the rest of the campus buildings open to STEP students? Can we use the gyms, et cetera, while we're here? So we're trying to make sure that all of the safety guidelines are followed. Definitely communicating with those places to make sure that, you know, students have things to do, whether it's like in the evenings or on the weekends. So definitely going to update that information as we get it from the university. Thank you so much to our panel. Y'all provided great insight. I appreciate it so much. I think like having each of you from different modalities also helps provide perspective on how things went. Thank you to Makonnen for, you know, being around and, you know, providing his little bit on the engineering course. But yeah, so as I said before, here is the information on the dates. If you have any lingering questions that we didn't get to during this panel, please feel free to reach out through email. We will try to get you the answers as we come about them. If your question was misinterpreted or not answered sufficiently, of course, you know, you can resend it to this email address and we will get you the answer that you need. But yeah, so we hope that everyone has a good rest of their evening and we hope to see you at STEP.
Go STEP.